Each store comes standard with 5 labels. The cost is about 5 points. The rent of the store is between 2 points and 4 points. So basically we need 10 points.
Upgrade retail technology, exploring the road to the future. Hello everyone. I am Lo Yang. Warren Buffett once said, only when the tide goes out. Only then do we find out who was swimming naked. Now the retail industry is going through such a big wave era. We can't change the market. We can't change the environment. We can only change ourselves. Today, we came to Fujian GuanPark. Let's explore how an industry veteran became a pioneer of reform.
Hello. Hello.
Then let's talk to Mr. Lin today. We started from a traditional track, the traditional supermarket. Today, we have become a new discount supermarket. We went from GuanMai to GuanMai. Why did we choose such a track?
Well, we used to do all categories. All categories include fresh food. So what I'm finding now is that let's make some insiders simple. We may have a better chance in a relatively concentrated insider. Find out who our target customers are. It's hard for us to do the full course. Okay, so we're going to be relatively focused on our kind of comparison. That's what I think. 80 to a 40-year-old group is relatively young. Then go and meet their needs.
Throughout 2024, the most mentioned by the supermarket is adjustment and change. Make changes to my original foundation. However, Mr. Lin, your presence in this area is equivalent to me starting over. It's like I'm starting a second business.
The current year of 2024, we see two, in particular the regional, traditional Changsha has 2 directions. One is going up, is to make adjustments. The product grade is higher, the standard of service is even higher. This wave should also be affected. It has been welcomed by many consumers. Everyone is learning this kind of adjustment from Panda to find some trust with customers, or better yet, this interaction. But there's a huge amount of unmet consumption. Therefore, the direction of discounting is also considered a good direction by everyone, because now in this age of stocks, that is, consumers' consumption habits will become more cautious and rational. So we hope to provide higher sex to this wave of consumers.
Price ratio. Just now we talked about this about price adjustment, because look at Yangwei. In fact, it is also our enterprise in Fujian. Yangwei also participated in this price adjustment. Mr. Lin, what do you think of this Fat Dongwei's price adjustment this time?
Offer customers a better shopping experience, more trust. This is a good direction. But retail ultimately has to pursue efficiency. If you say this too during this entire adjustment process, we found that doing a supermarket involves investment, including personnel costs. He is constantly improving. If there is a balance in efficiency, this is a good direction. We also saw that Yonghui achieved good results in some scene adjustments.
Well, do you think the focus of his change this time is on what he has done? Let his performance improve.
I see that he should pay more attention to fresh food. Well, it's under processing. This category is constantly making efforts. In fact, there is a trend towards the catering of supermarkets, in addition, in the organization of commodities. It should be closer to the needs of consumers. It removes some of the excess dominated by the original supply chain. These products of low quality, these inefficient products. So the efficiency of the circulation of goods has still been improved.
In fact, on the one hand, it is making efforts in the fresh and cooked food categories. On the other hand, in fact, he has also made some optimizations to his internal supply chain. What's next? We may discuss more specific topics. In fact, Mr. Lin said that the future retail industry, it needs more retail technology. What about retail technology? We think maybe the first step is you have to build a reasonable store. As for the store, there may be 4 dimensions in it to analyze this matter. The operating income of my store, the cost of procurement, the cost of operating my store, and the fixed cost I just mentioned. Then let's talk about these 4 aspects one by one. First of all, for example, let's talk about categories. We noticed that in fact, what about GuanPark? Its main category is concentrated in snack food. Alcohol, grain, and oil, beauty, and this toy are on top of these major categories. Why did you choose these categories?
Based on the products we are in. The current main products of GuanPark are in the business district, inside the shopping mall. What about inside the shopping center? The platform we advocate is high frequency retail demand. Well, let's do the simplest. It doesn't need to be too complicated to take care of these products. So we decisively remove the fresh. Because although the category of fresh food is very sticky, but in the business district scene, it's not particularly needed. And fresh corn is more complex. It may even cause some losses. However, we are in this category of organization of high quality regional demand. The only thing that was removed was the content of fresh food. It is actually more difficult to remove the content of fresh food. The height, yes. This requires us to have high cost performance and high operational efficiency of this product.
So what's next? This is how I can reduce these daily costs in the store.
Well, we have a keyword called simplicity. Simple is me. All of my messages to our teams are called ultimate change. The ultimate saving, making it simple, is very simplified. First of all, in the process of building the store, just when we went to open the store, we will keep all costs to a minimum for you. because this focuses on the input and output return of a store. Generally speaking, we now build a store of 300 to 400 square meters. The total hardware investment is generally controlled at about 400,000, about 400,000, and our standards are not low. Then this is through some of our design. Some of these process modifications keep this cost under control. Second, operational efficiency must be extremely high. All business work revolves around the cost of the entire operation. So we got rid of the manual cashier, purely using 5 people as standard in each store. So now basically our operating costs. The operation of the store is controlled within 10 points, because in a shopping center, the main investment of a store, where are the main operating costs? In labor, well, rent, utilities. Actually, we don't charge much for utilities in the shopping center. It's only a few $1,000s a month. Then the labor cost accounts for about 5 points. Right. Then the rent of the store is between 2 points and 4 points. So basically, keep these costs within 10 points.
That is, you can earn the same profit with a lower gross profit.
It turns out the discount business isn't about high margins. It's a low margin business. The lower your gross profit, your future competitive layer will have higher barriers to competition. Because if your high margin business is easily broken, if it is broken, the gross profit is low. Your ability to complete this business as your final barrier. A discount doesn't mean high gross profit. It has to be low margin. Low gross margins and healthy operations can be very profitable. This is called challenging your comprehensive cost. So we have also seen some brands in the industry doing their brand protection these days. People keep mentioning a word called comprehensive cost. Therefore, if the entire operating cost can be reduced, is you a barrier?
Well, in fact, during my time, I have been communicating with many of these traditional supermarket owners. Well, what about actually, we will see a traditional supermarket because it is a store. It may require labor costs.
Okay.
So far, we have reduced the store to 5 people. Well, many bosses find this incredible. How is this done?
Okay.
What do you think of this new classic, from tradition to the present?
Well, I've been obsessed with this first principles thing myself for years. That is, your business needs to go back and report the structure. Our original traditional investment promotion may have various job orientations. For example, there is ring selection, there are tally clerks, there are cashiers, it's staff. Then we now have only one job type in the store. There's one type of job, that is, there's only one salesperson in the store. One employee includes the store manager. He does the same kind of work. He made this action of his work extremely simple. Keep copying. Let's simplify this business operation. We were in the mall at the same time. At the peak, 3 people were working. So this is enough for 5 people on a day. And 1 person can do it. About 200,000 brain blood per month, brain blood. Then this brain blood will become very high.
Well, let's talk about the future again. It is Mr. Lin who you think under the current market environment. Everyone is making changes. So if we look 3 or 5 years from now, so what do you think the current situation of the entire retail industry will be like by then? What will the retail landscape look like?
I think all kinds of models are possible. For example, like a traditional supermarket. Does it exist? I think there is still room. There will be some changes in the content and methods of the entire operation, including all kinds of innovative business formats we see now. It may go through a phase. Then compare these industry players who have an advantage. He might just survive.
The road to retail reform must not be achieved overnight. It requires innovation. It takes boldness. More perseverance is required. Although thousands of people are hardworking, blow all the yellow sand to gold. Next, we will invite more outstanding entrepreneurs in the industry to come to the stage and share with you. We will also lead you into more and more new models in the industry. A new kind of store. Let's see you next time.